Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10. Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by David Anderson. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey. Because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Play fake there to Hunt. Now Mahomes. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. That one goes for 24 yards.
No. Check. Patriot. Gone.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And that is incomplete here.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again, Allen. He's going to air one out. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Allen again. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Ready. Blue 45. Blue 45. Left, 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 left. Slow. Slow. 49.
Mahomes now to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. The tight end Kelsey was the intended target. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
So after the INT, it's Allen. Forced out to his left. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
Now Allen throwing on second down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Andre Holmes, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bills have taken the early lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Hauschka adds the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And going deep for Hill. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
They force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. And going deep for Hill. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
All right, I've got to be careful here, all right? He's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his feet as far as he's concerned.
What he's saying, I'm on the plus side of 30.
Well, if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there, let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely, still got a lot of life left in those legs. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 2nd down, here's Allen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. They're going deep for Hill. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this 1st quarter. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Wait a second, they did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's 3 yards. They run the counter now. It's Anderson. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He finds Coleman. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. And they've got it here with a 1st down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's Allen. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A good pickup there, 26 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Detroit! Detroit!
Again, they'll throw with Allen. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. And a great veteran, Eric Berry, back to knock that one away.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Allen now on 3rd and goal, eluding the pressure right. He may try, and he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. Josh Allen with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bills will extend their lead. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Here we go. Green 90. Green 90.
On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Star Lotulelei coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Trent Murphy. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Returnable here from the 38. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Throwing now is Allen. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Mahomes now on 1st down. He's going to air one out. He's got a man complete. And that one results in 35 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On third down, it's Hunt, and he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to go up top over the... This is caught inside the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. They give him a gain of 38.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Now Mahomes. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
Brandon, I won't go overboard here, but it looks like he's off to another nice start after what he did last week when he was the AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And obviously a great start to the season, doing it in week 1. He's one of those guys we maybe had pegged for a big year, showing out so far.
Hey, you did say that to me in preseason. Looks like you're on target.
Green, 90.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. It's the fullback, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Chiefs are able to get this back within a touchdown. And oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
They'll try again from the 36 on second and 10. On second down, it's McCoy. And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. From the gun, it's Allen. Looking deep now for McCoy. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Mahomes going to throw. Looking downfield for Kelsey. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14.
Green 90. Green 90. Slow.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? From the gun, it's Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor.
Here we go now.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now they'll try and run this sweep to McCoy. Oh, he's got a little daylight. McCoy's got the first down and more. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one good for 33 and a first. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end the drive, going to the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it here with Hunt. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
We got three. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Now here's Mahomes. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 46. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Again, it's McCoy. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Allen. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. In his own end zone, it's Mahomes. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw now in his own end zone. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 13. Now he'll be marked down at the 2-yard line. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here, and it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Clay that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space.
And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Andre Holmes with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much. As he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we're having a tough patch, This too shall pass. This too shall pass. And finally, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Play fake. Bridgewater. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Lorenzo Molden in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Third and long for Bridgewater. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Taken from just outside the 30. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
All right, now, look at this.
Allen again here on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Pierce. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
It's a gain of 4, and it gets them the first. To throw, it's Allen. He's going to let this one go deep. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
But it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete. But you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
Airing one out deep for Holmes here. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
We'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
To throw, Bridgewater. Fighting to stay up, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. This is intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
It's a pickup of 17 on that one, and a Bills first down. And they'll keep on the ground with McCoy. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
On the counter, here's McCoy. Back-to-back one-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a third down and 8.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Allen now looks to throw, and he'll check this one down to McCoy. And he showed a nice little juke, but then the window quickly closed. It'll be a 3-yard gain. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he's watching that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 20.
Black 58 rail. Black 58 rail.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. They find some open field here. The 40, 30. Past the 20, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A great play there, an 80-yard touchdown, and the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On 2nd down, here's Allen. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 33. Oh, some strong running. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Here's Hunt. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. So now a big spot here as the Chiefs will indeed go for 2. They'll try and run it here. But he will not get into the end zone. And that one hurts as it will remain a 2-score game here in the 4th. So the lead is now dwindled to 9 as the kick here is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And here come the Bills. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with McCoy. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. They'll pitch it out to McCoy. And he's got some space here. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. They go now to McCoy. He's seen a ton of action this afternoon. Oh, no, he lost the football. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Following the penalty, Anderson looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Now they run with a backup. It's Chris Ivory. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Mahomes to throw. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And the Bills have recovered.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, That puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
After the penalty, it's McCoy. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The pass rush specialist, Dee Ford, in on the stop. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. He finds Ivory here. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And his throw is incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Jerry Hughes on the stop.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also...
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. LaShawn McCoy, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And now here comes Kansas City. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. shotgun snap to Mahomes. Throw left side complete. That's Hunter. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. The Chiefs on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Green 39. Green 39.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Now they got to get to the line quickly. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Mahomes now to throw. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. On first down, Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerry Hughes in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at about the 31. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Buffalo, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.